if you look into the national or international IPR regimes, they very well take care of the private and corporate IPRs. But it's not accidentally that they are not taking care of at all the public knowledge products of IPR, of the communities products in the form of biodiversity and the traditional knowledge. I find no protection in the TRIPS as well as in the national IPR regimes which India has created. And I believe it must be the same situation in almost all the countries which subscribe to the capitalist mode of production. I find linkages between the economic system and the IPR system. To my understanding, the IPR is a natural outcome of the level of the kind of production relations we have and the commodification which it tries to make. So IPR is a higher level of production relations in a capitalist society, and naturally it's right to protect the IPRs in that society, but not taking care of the IPRs of the communities. So the second serious major product of IPR is the copyright. So there is ample production provided by the national or the international IPR regimes for the private these entertainment products, creative products. But as far as the public products, the communities products in terms of creativity, folk, culture, I hardly find any production. But you find a lot of instances the public products in entertainment products being stolen by any private individual and using it for commercial purposes without caring to share the huge profits they may be making out of that. So then you have two more IP products which are not seriously, to my understanding, are IPR products, but in the nature of protecting the goodwills in the form of trademarks or geographical indication. Now this point I have already referred to. The TRIPS, Article 27, doesn't provide any protection for the communities' IPRs, whether they are creative products or they are scientific products in the form of traditional knowledge or the biodiversity. However, you have a corresponding international regimes, CBD, which has adequately protection for the intellectual property rights of the communities. And you find there is a contradiction between these two international covenants, and we have to strike a balance somewhere. So in order to resolve this contradiction between TRIPS and CBD, we have to strike some accommodation of these two regimes. And the more fair regime is in CBD, and which seeks accommodation in TRIPS. And you know, for the last many years, many countries trying to make this point out in the party conferences of WTO, but still the Americans and their lobbyists, sorry to make this point, they are not allowing the interested parties to succeed, and this is going on. I'm sorry that we are not in a position to go to the next slide. This slide is there. Yeah. Just to make out the point which I made just earlier. a few minutes ago, that the prospectants at the international level and the national level as well, they are trying to steal, I say pirate, the public tradition knowledge and seeking patents. And I am giving you a few of the examples listed here. The patent sought in different countries has been also listed here, based on the traditional knowledge of the communities, and which were challenged, and the patents has been cancelled. But that doesn't make me very happy in this sense, because fighting a patent, I think the professors who are dealing with this area may be knowing better than me. The cost involved in challenging a patent, to my information, if it is in the US, runs from, I think, 10 million rupees to 100 million rupees, which is a huge cost. And the time involved in litigation is the time which is time lost, and the pirate who is holding the patent may be making profit during that period of time. So these are the examples to establish my point. Next. Now, I have listed some data which is not quite new data, with Professor Scott's permission. Around 2000, US had 5,000 patents, and around 2,000 patents contain Indian knowledge, tradition knowledge or biodiversity material. And you can well imagine how much capital formation the patent holder may be doing there on the basis of the knowledge, IPR knowledge, which belongs to entirely different society and the communities. So this is the serious point I want to make. Taking cognizance of this situation, India took measures, but it will prove counterproductive. India tried to make a digital library of its tradition knowledge. But still I believe the moment the tradition knowledge, which is a huge knowledge in any traditional society, when it will become public, I think instead of arresting piracy will increase. That is my apprehension. This data belongs to 2000, around this is 2009. You can very well imagine how much maybe the percentage of patents in US which may be based on the Asian pirated knowledge. And you can well imagine how much the capital formation which may be taking place on the basis of this knowledge, which precisely do not belong to them. It belongs to the societies which are getting no benefits out of that. So I will just give you the brief profile of Indian biodiversity. This digital library which we had prepared has served 65% of the land area, 35% remains. And we have noticed the data which has been created. It is mostly on the recorded knowledge, as the traditional knowledge is concerned. But on the ground species existing levels as well, which runs around 30 million pages. And if we take cognizance of the traditional knowledge which is being handed over from generation to generation, which lies with the society orally, it may be more than additional 30 million pages. So you can very well imagine the traditional societies, which incidentally are not considered to be progressive societies. To my understanding, they are the most scientific society, given the volume of the knowledge they have. And traditional knowledge is not a orthodox knowledge; it is a scientific knowledge, and it is being proved by the incidence of its being stolen and being